What's going on, guys? This is Greg, otherwise known as Mr. Elementary Math, and I wanted to pop in with a solution to a question that I get oftentimes. And the question is this. So, Greg, my students do not understand place value. So, how can I get them to better understand place value? And I know you have students who are just like this. So, I'm going to share a solution that I've created for you guys. It's called the Place Value Math Talk Routine. And what this is it's a digital as well as a paper version of a math talk warm up that you can use with your students at the beginning of your math lesson. So it's a warm up. It should take no longer than 5 to 10 minutes, something that you do daily with your students. There are 30 different lessons here, so it gives your students 30 different opportunities to master place value, starting with our basic level, which is level A, moving to our intermediate level, which is level B, and going to our challenge level, which is level C. So I would start with level A with my entire class and move us through those 10 lessons, then do the 10 lessons that are in the intermediate level, and then do the 10 lessons that are in the challenge level. All right? So let me share with you how that looks. So, like I said, within this packet, there is the paperless version, which you will basically project onto your whiteboard. So you'll project this lesson, the daily lesson, onto your whiteboard. As well, what I'm going to share with you is how to use the paperless version with the actual practice sheets that you see on the right-hand side. So make sure that you have copies of the practice sheet for your students. At the beginning of your warm up or your math block, what I want you to do as this warm up, I want you to give your students a few minutes to complete that practice sheet. So once again, give your students a few minutes to complete the practice sheet. So this is a double-sided sheet. There are 4 questions, and for levels B and C, there is an actual bonus question. So a bonus question to get their minds really thinking. So once they're completed, with the practice sheet, it should look something like this. So you can see that right here. The completed version of the practice sheet should look like that. And once they're completed, you should give them a timed amount of time. So don't extend this very long. Give them only a certain amount of time to complete this, and then go ahead and move right into the routine. So here, we're going to talk about level B. This is activity 4 of our math talk routine. This is one of our lessons from our intermediate level, all right? So question 1 is, what number represents B and what number represents C? So at this time, your students had time to actually complete the work using their practice sheets. So you give them a time to actually share out with the class what those values are and what those numbers represent, okay? So the great thing is the answers are provided here. So once your students share out, then you can say, okay, B is equal to 548, as you can see through the visual here, and C is equal to 284. So then you move on to the next question, which is question 2. It reads, true or false? Explain. The value of A is equal to 4008, but some of your students may see that as just a 4008. So you give your students, once again, an opportunity to share out their answers with the entire class, and then you review the answer. So the answer is false. A does not equal 4008. It equals 408 because there are 400s, there are 0 10s, and there are 8 ones, as you can see in that model, as your students will see in A. All right. Now we'll move to question 3, which reads, if Pat took away 200 from C, how would the number change? And this is really a great question because oftentimes our students don't really understand numbers enough and understand if I change one place value, which is just the hundreds place, how is that number, how will that affect the number? So you once again give your students an opportunity to discuss and share out their answers with the class. Only pick maybe 1 or 2 students, and then you can share the answer. So the answer to number 3 is the new number would be smaller by 200. The new number actually equals 84. And the visual in C shows that 2 of the hundreds are actually crossed out, and what's highlighted in yellow is what remains, which is 84. All right? So our question 4, is name a number that's greater than all of the models. So we're also getting some comparison in this routine as well, which is really great for our students to think about. So you once again give your students a chance to share out their answers, and then you can share the answers. And here we see that answers can vary. We know that answers can vary. And since 548 is the greatest number, any number that they give that's greater than that is correct. So I love the open-ended nature of this, and you will too, and so will your kids. So Now, what I want to do is I want to share our bonus question. So remember, I said at the beginning, we have bonus questions for levels B and C. All right. So during with this bonus question, this is actually like a fifth question. What I want you to do is you can give your students opportunity to do this during the warm up, but if you don't have time and you're pressed for time, give it to them for homework, give it to them for extra credit, or let them do it as an early finisher activity, the bonus question. All right. But if you definitely have time during your math block, give it to them and let them do that bonus question because it'll grow their thinking. So let me get into the bonus question right now. So bonus question reads, Ben wanted to make the number 408 using base 10 models. He did not have any hundreds blocks. He only had tens and ones. Help him. How many tens and ones did you use? So the thing about this question that's great is that you can have a variety of answers, which is really great. And your students will come up with a variety of ways to show this. But you can just have them share one or two different ways, all right? So, like I said, answers vary. So here's one of the solutions. Here we see that 10 tens makes 100. So we have one group of 10 tens, another group of 10 tens, another group of 10 tens, and another group of 10 tens. So we have four groups of 10 tens, which are 40 tens. And we have 8 ones, which equal 408. The great thing about it is your students may give different answers than this. You may have students who come up with 39 tens and 18 ones. You may have some students who say 38 tens and 28 ones, which is also equal to 408. The great thing is that there's a variety of answers, and it really gets your kids to thinking and really understanding that 10 tens equals 100, which is a really critical skill in second grade. All right. So now that your students have done their bonus question, that pretty much wraps up our math talk routine. So once again, our math talk routine, our place value math talk routine is great because it helps your students really understand comparison of numbers, really understanding the meaning of each digit, what that really means, and also understanding the values of the things like 10 tens equal 100, and as well as adding and subtracting multiples of tens from a value. That is really, really important and really important for our kids to really get that because it'll help them with other operations such as addition, subtraction of numbers as well. All right. So this is our place value math talk. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helped you. Enjoy so that your kids become place value masters.